mean, okay, I'll start with the good news, right? So the good news is it's not as deadly as we might have thought.
I'm quoting from your study, which is available today through medRxiv, and I'm quoting, "The population-weighted prevalence of antibodies among those you tested here in Santa Clara County was 2.81%. This implies that the infection is much more widespread than indicated by the number of confirmed cases."
We drew a sample of people from Santa Clara County. We just looked to see if the test showed evidence of antibodies to COVID-19. Now, why is that important? Because those antibodies imply very strongly that you had COVID-19 previously. That procedure, we figured out about somewhere between 2.8 and 4% of Santa Clara County has had evidence of COVID infection.
Right.
So there's about 2 million people in the county. If 4% have evidence of infection, that means that there's about 85 times more people who've had it per person that actually identified having it.
That's the critical finding.
Yeah, and if it's on the low end, it'd be 2.8, it'd be 50 times. So for every single person that the healthcare system in Santa Clara County is identified as having the virus actively in them, there are 50 people out there who had it and that never showed up with a positive test. It's the COVID infection is substantially more common in the population than we'd realized prior to the study. What we're looking for is antibodies. So it's an antibody test. And of course, you produce antibodies a few days after you get infected. The fact that those antibodies are present are evidence that you were infected, even if the virus is gone. And that's what we're looking for, right? So
all right. So now, again, more on the results.
So if 50 people had it for every person that we've identified having it, well, previously we're counting the number of deaths. We divide by the number of people we think have it. And we say, okay, gosh, 1%, 2%, somewhere between 1 and 2% of people who have it die. But if there's 50 people who have had it and cleared it, then you get a much lower death rate. Now, the bottom line is that once you do that nuance, it's probably about as deadly as the flu or a little bit worse. Somewhere between 1 and 2 in 1,000 die.